July 4th deals are out. What can I describe this as? It was the impending disappointment. For me personally, I'll go over kind of stuff. And maybe people will say, oh, well, it's not disappointing. I'll explain why it's very disappointing. Okay, so you might wonder, why was this video so late, Rich? By the way, I will be doing a proper breakdown of like the tiering and recommendations and spending in another video. I just want to get some stuff off my chest with how I feel about it. Okay, so I'm not going to be partaking in any of these deals. Number one, I went non-spending back in January 2022. Just at the end of December 2021, and I am now going to continue. This has inspired me more to stay non-spending within the game. Again, further elaboration, Rich. What is so bad about these deals? Okay, let's take a little bit of a journey back in time. The journey back in time goes back to November. Yeah, November time, 2021, when we had the CyberWknd deals. What's so significant about this? Well, what you were doing was you'd spend 5,000 units to unlock the greater bundles, and these greater bundles will allow you to get, especially for a Thronebreaker player, access to rank 4 6-star materials. So you'd spend 10,000 units to get a snifter at a little bit of rank 4 6-star materials. Not too bad. That's better than what Kabam have done in the past with these particular things. More so when it comes to the chase rewards. If anybody remembers the incident of when Thronebreaker was released, the first CyberWknd after, and the disappointment of Cavalier players then, you'll know exactly how I'm feeling right now about this whole particular situation. But in any case, as I said, 10,000 units got you rank 4 materials back in 2021. Very important. Again, we need to then flash forward to the current day. The current day looks like this on screen now. Thronebreaker deals, which I've got right here. And what you have to do is you have to buy one to unlock another. Now, yeah, spend 1,000. Okay, that's good. Greater one at 4,000. So that's 5,000 to spend. What's next? 10,000 units. You have to spend 10,000 units to get a nice amount of... You get like a fully formed tier 6 basic and a fully formed tier 3 alpha. So look, if you are spending, you're fine, right? If you have 15,000 units before this started, you're fine. Why on earth it's gone like this, I don't know. And again, people might say, well, you should have had 15,000 units, Rich. Well, that's a good point. Well, I only needed 10,000 last year to get myself a little bit of rank 4 6-star materials. So what's changed? It's like Kabam have gone back in time to how they were doing deals before. Very, very unusual. The question really is about like the value of this. And I just think the Kabam have gone like just so much in a backwards direction from what they did in 2021. Consistency being the thing about how they kind of like structured deals. Yeah, maybe they're down bad and need the money and people are spending. This doesn't encourage me to spend if you're putting an extra amount of kind of like threshold to get more units for it. And as I said, like I would need to in future make sure I have now 15,000 units because hey, they ain't doing what they were doing in 2021. You know, this wasn't a new narrative to go down. The biggest thing that kind of like gets me is again value. We bring this back to value. The tier 6 basics value has slumped a lot. So I find it really weird that in a recent deal, I think when we equated it, it was like the equivalent to like 3 Odins to get one fully formed tier 6 basic, right? But now it's worth like 5 Odins. So I don't know, like as things like really change like that. Again, let's further talk about value, right? Value because back, several months ago, we were looking at stuff like this, where you could get all of what is being advertised for 15,000 units. But it's the value of 10,000. People might say, "Oh, well, no. They're putting in 6-star materials. They're putting in other stuff as well to it." Well, that's the thing. Is like these deals don't really feel like these deals are never tailored to you. But didn't they do something tailored to you as a player? That's right. They did that back in 2021, where deals felt like they were better because there was less in them. But they were more tailored to where you want to go with them and what you require for your roster. Whereas, and even with some of the other ones as well, yes, there were less stuff in them. Yes, that does mean that why they've put in the extra value. But this is all about, again, the player base having a bit more of a say as to where they go. We got nine kind of like options there for players to go down route-wise to get. Same thing with Cavalier players. Cavalier players had choice of where they wanted to go and what they wanted to grab. So again, that's very important for the player base. You want to feel like you've got choice, and that's what Kabam always want to like say to us, like, hey, you've got choice to make decisions about where you want to go with your roster as to like, what do you want to rank up materials? Do you want more 6-star signature stones? Do you want more kind of like 6-star shards? Is that where you want to go with that? And you get that choice. You get a choice, and that's what I like about. That's what I really loved, not just loved about those CyberWknd deals in 2021. And it kind of like made me think like, okay, well, this is the first time ever Kabam have done this. Maybe they've gone, this is a good idea. We're going to roll with this as more of a permanent thing. This may be kind of a good way to go. And I just kind of feel like they've gone backwards with this. People may say, oh, Rich, it's only because you don't have the 18,000 units or the 15,000 units. And I'd simply like say back, I don't care. Because here's the next thing. I can go in a different direction. As I said, like in streams over the last 2 days, if these leaks are deemed to be, real, that's fine. I'm going to go and do Karina's Challenges Volume 2. For the amount of spend that I will do with the units that I grind for free, these are free grinded units that I've grabbed. I'll just grab a load of revives and loads of stuff that I need, and I will go and do stuff that I don't like, which is Abyss of Legends. I'll go and do the Mutant Domination. I'll do Come Out to Play. I'll even do Karina's Challenges, and then when Revolution's back, I'll do that at the same time, and I'll get Paragon. There's nothing stopping me as non-spending player to, at some point in the next month or two, get Paragon. Eternity of Pain coming out as well. And we've got the extra resources that are going into the Cavalier difficulty on a monthly basis as an objective. So we're getting double the amount there. So I'm not going to kind of go like, oh, I'm really it is disappointing. And I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm really upset about it. Like, I don't care. Like, there's other stuff that's kind of like I can still do in game to get myself Paragon. I wouldn't be kind of like positively focusing on that. But you never know. 5,000 units might kind of like drop into my lap all of a sudden. If not, then I'll just save up the resources I need to, or the units that I need down the line. Now that I can get at least 2,000 units a week, then that's good. Like, I'll just kind of now focus on grabbing loads of those for CyberWknd, and I'll look forward to these deals, which then Kabam would be quite hypocritical if they didn't put those out. It'd be quite funny. I do think Kabam will end up putting out these deals, and I think the question on CyberWknd 2022, and the question will be like, okay, so you did it then, but you didn't do it back in July for July 4th. It'd be very funny to see what drops for CyberWknd 2022. I must admit. I also think that Kabam may be doing what they did back when Thronebreaker and Cavalier players split. If anybody remembers that July 4th deal, where it looked like everybody got like something if you were like at end of Cavalier, which was the non-Thronebreaker, because I think it was put out right to the end of Cavalier, just about to go into the Thronebreaker title being released. There was a time where like the amalgamation of that meant that when it was split out from Thronebreaker to Cavalier, there was such a kind of like change and shift in the amount of volume of the tier 5 class catalyst selector volume that was put out, and that's like seen here, because you can get, from spending £90, $100, whatever it is, wherever you are, you'll get 19,000 tier 6 basic fragments and tier 3 alpha fragments times 15,000. Compare it with what Paragon players get, which is 1 fully formed tier 6 basic and 1 fully formed tier 3 alpha. I think the biggest thing here is kind of, again, it just boils down to value and how much Kabam value that particular this chase reward. I think even more so when it comes to the content you have to do. As I said, it doesn't bother me. Like, I will get Paragon at some stage, and hopefully some stage in the next month, and I'm not willing to spend on the game in order to kind of like get that particular chase title. But there is a bit of a point with this particular element, and that is the content that is required in order to get it from a non-spending standpoint. Back a little while ago, a long time ago, I think, was it 2021 or 2020? Maybe even 2019, when Thronebreaker title was out. I can't remember. If you completed Act 6, you only needed to do one piece of content once, and that was Abyss of Legends. If you did Abyss of Legends once, you got And again, providing if you've done Act 6 in a, I think it's completion standpoint, you were able to get a tier 5 CC. That tier 5 CC meant you get a rank 3 6-star champion. So essentially you were kind of going, okay, well maybe it's going to cost me the first time round at the time about 5,000 units equivalent. And then you look at it nowadays and go, okay, well to get Paragon, you've got to do all of the Queen's challenges in volume 2, and that could be depending on your skill level, right? I don't know, like anybody's skill levels up is completely up to them, inputs, whatever, blah 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 blah. It could be a case that the equivalent that you would spend 15,000 units, you could literally do Karina's challenges that give you the stuff back. You could even like, maybe you spend 15,000 units equivalent, maybe you spend a lot less because you're highly skilled, maybe you have a load of revives and health potions and are able to do it. I think there is a very much like big stark contrast, especially from, you know, how this particular content is managed and how Kabam kind of look into how they set the kind of goals of this being achieved. But either way, you know, if you want to spend on the game, spend on the game. It's up to you. I'm not going to be. I'm going to now work on grabbing more units and figure out how to do, not figure out how to do, but kind of like set up my team and structure as how I'm going to do Karina's challenges. Either way, I do find these deals pretty disappointing. I think more so if you're non-spending and Paragon as well. And if you have to, I don't know if this is correct because I don't have the Paragon thing, but if it's a case that you have to spend the equivalent to 18,000 units as a Paragon player to get a sniff to add a rank 3 to rank 4 materials, then again, like what the heck is going on with just structure and consistency with this particular stuff? Either way, I'll throw it over to the comments section. I'm going to be doing a video about the value of this in a moment, and then I'm going to go into a bit of a live stream, which I'm looking forward to. Play a little bit of MCOC and a little bit of Fall Guys. Going to get some more units because, hey, 10,000 units isn't enough to get anything remotely kind of like interesting in what I'm chasing. So I'd rather just save my units, wait until CyberWknd, do some Karina's challenges, and I'll be Paragon before I know it, and then I'll be kind of like looking at deals like this and going, okay, well, the 18,000 units I saved up for this, I'll go on that, and then I'll just save some more up from gifting event and just do it that way, because we have moved on from CyberWknd deals where everybody got a choice of something interesting, something they were interested in to go and grab. But I don't know, maybe I've got it completely wrong, maybe I've got the wrong take on this, but thoughts in the comment section about how do you, especially from a non-spending standpoint, like how you kind of like see these deals, and also from a spending standpoint, do you feel there's more value in the unit store? Thoughts. And also one more thing, as I'm doing the edit, I've just seen this, which I've been tagged in on Twitter about, and it just reminds you like how much like Kabam have devalue the extent of going and grinding out for stuff, because like you can literally, as soon as you complete, it's like you don't have to do Abyss after like completing Act 6. You could just go and get this deal for $99 and get Thronebreaker. So, you know, that's it. You don't need to do any content for it. Like if you buy that, you get it. So, hey, that's nice, isn't it? And you get free choice of the rank up. So there you go. The Thronebreaker title has been devalued, but the Paragon titleage, even with all the stuff that I pointed out in this video, has not, and especially you don't get much of a free choice without excessively spending in units. GG's. Let's end this here. A dissection video coming out later on. Check out some other content on screen right now, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.